Welcome to the Rock Music Alliance interview sessions. I'm your host, Cole Coleman, along with keyboardist Claudio Pesavento from Mahogany Rush and the Chris Squire Band. On our show today, a still young and rising guitar star who just became the lead guitar player for the band Puddle of Mudd. Welcome to our show, Neal Schon.
And thank you for having me.
Thanks for taking time to come on. Miles, congratulations on getting the new gig with Puddle of Mudd. What were you doing just before Puddle of Mudd, and what led up to you getting the offer to join them?
Um, well, I've been working on a project called Hopper Crime over the last few years. It's an LA-based alternative rock band that's currently charting right now. And right before the Puddle of Mudd audition, I was actually at a Nick Carter audition, which I'm pretty sure I thought that I had it. And we had a few dates overlapping, which they added to the following month. So I was open for the whole month, and then they asked me last second, "Hey, are you available for an extra 6 days?" And I wasn't. And then my buddy Sean McNabb, his bass player there in Hollywood, had an audition with Puddle of Mudd, and he was very late in the evening. I think he was the last audition, and he didn't nobody to play with him. And so he asked me to go, and so I went there without even really knowing the songs. But Wes is there checking out the different people in and out, and I just let him. Hey, no disrespect, I just didn't have time to listen. I was literally just at the Backstreet Boys audition. So yeah, it was crazy. I went from one in North Hollywood and picked up a friend at the airport, and then they drove me on the way to MI for the audition, and I learned the songs on the way.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. You got to have a really good ear and a lot of experience, man.
Yeah, I mean, we all got to have a good ear doing what we do, right?
It comes from his mother.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Puddle of Mudd has a brand new album just released at the beginning of May called Kiss the Machine. Did you get to do any recording on that album?
I did, yeah. I was really excited about one of the songs called Firefly, getting to play some slide guitar. Now I'm interested in playing your little slide piece that you just showed me here.
Yeah, the thimble slide. Thimble slide,
Yeah,
yeah. We'll have to get you one of those.
yeah, man. I'll try it out for sure. Um, yeah, there's a couple songs in Puddle stuff where I'll pull out a slide for a second too, so that'd be perfect.
Cool, man. Cool. Are there any other guest musicians on that album?
There's a lot. Robin, amazing drummer. I think, I think some of the original musicians, Jimmy, guitarist, had something to do with some of the writing. And then the producer played on it as well throughout the album. So it's kind of just, it's all over the place. We're already working on another album actually too right now. So I'm excited. I would just got to keep writing.
That's great. That's great. Uh, are you able to contribute to the writing in that band?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think this next album a lot more. Wes been talking about it, and he really loves some of the stuff that I've been sending him. So I'm excited for this next album.
Well, the tracks that I notice are getting a lot of listens, a lot of spins, are Beautimous,
Mhm.
Firefly, the one you mentioned, and In Love with the Dancer, which I got a kick out of. Are there any particular songs on there that you're looking forward to doing live?
We've been playing Beautimous. People generally want to hear the hits, so we play, the handful of hits and some of the classics that, if you're a Puddle of Mud fan, you expect to hear those. But I'm looking forward to just rotating them and kind of picking and choosing. And all three of those tracks you mentioned would be fun to play live, and I'm ready for it. It's just kind of when the guys pull the trigger.
Can you take it all the way?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was
Very
their big hit.
exciting.
Well, did you? What was the name of that one, Claudio?
I don't know.
That's a great song. I remember when that song came out. The
You
first,
singing blurry,
what's it called?
blurry.
Blurry, Blurry. Yeah, I remember. What struck me right away when I heard that song was the use of harmonics and the acoustic guitar harmonics.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. Do you guys do that live?
Yeah, we play.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably one of the two biggest hits. So definitely got to play that one, and She Hates Me.
So
So,
does Puddle of Mudd have any upcoming live dates or a tour planned?
yeah. I mean, I actually just got sent a list of stuff, but I think our next date is in Utica, New York. Um, and then past that, we have Hot Springs in Arkansas, Alton, Illinois, Morton, Minnesota, East Durham, New York, Cottonwood, Arizona, and then Reno, Nevada, um, which I'm really excited about because I'm from NorCal. So getting to go up to that and having bike night, street vibrations, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Reno. I did some gigging up there myself. I think I played at the Pepper Mill, and there was a nightclub my band played at. I think it's gone now. It was it's near. I think it was called the train station or the station. But yeah, Reno. It's a fun town. Fun town. Well, I'll tell you. Let's take a sample listen. To the new release. That's the song that's getting all the big spins is Beautimous. So here we go. Yeah, from the Puddle of Mudd album, Kiss the Machine. Here's about a minute and a half of their song Beautimous.
Come on, little baby. I love it when you show up naked, shaking at the front door. 'Cause I'm your back door, trap door man. Baby, let me in so we can get it down to some sitting. Tongue tie me to the floor, baby. I wanna be a little whore. Pain is all I feel when you're all up in my face. Fate takes me away, but I always miss your taste. Waves are always in between, only 1,000 days away. You always know I'm coming home to my beautiful disaster. You always know I'm coming home to my beautiful disaster.
That was Beautimous from Puddle of Mudd's new album, Kiss the Machine, on the Rock Music Alliance. I like the up energy of that song in Beautimous. I predict though that In Love with a Dancer is going to be a crowd favorite.
I agree.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think the girls are just going to go nuts on that song.
I think I might have had something to do with inspiring that song.
Really? Yeah. What's the story?
A woman that I was recently with and I actually bought my first, talking to the guys about the breakup and yeah, there you have it. Made its way to the record.
There you go, man. That's cool. That's cool. So, did you get to be in any of the videos released? Was that you I saw in Beautimous?
Yeah, that's me there. Yeah,
Well, to
we're
tell us a little bit about shooting that video.
last second. I mean, Wes came and ran in onto like a blues gig that I was doing here in Las Vegas at Count Vamped and found the drummer that I was playing with that night, and he's like, "Let's go out to the desert tonight. We're gonna go shoot it. I got a bunch of fireworks." And I was like, "Man, I've been traveling all day. I can't do it tonight, but let's do it tomorrow." So our bass player drove out from LA the next day, and we drove out into the middle of the desert and shot off a bunch of fireworks and tracked with one like 4K camera, real guerrilla style. It was fun, and it felt like um, just like we were having fun shooting off fireworks and playing songs, and girls were dancing with the fire, and yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, it's effective. It's amazing how a simple thing can be effective in a music video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's all Wes's idea. It's like,
cool. I've got to get out to Vegas more. I haven't been to the Counts Club. Claudio, you've been out to Vegas, have you?
They're gonna close in a couple months.
Oh
no.
man,
that's too
the
bad.
Counts, is it a permanent closure?
They have five more bands and they close. Yeah, permanent.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
I,
I
wa-
really
I,
am.
wa- I was there like 2 weeks ago.
Huh.
I went to see Chaz West, the Led Zeppelin tribute
Mhm.
we have with Brian Ticky and all these guys. Yeah, I didn't know they were closing, but I guess they are.
Does anybody know why? Is it just time for him to retire, or?
No, I said they had that place for a long time, like, and they spent a lot of money actually to bring. I mean, they basically the bands they bring sometimes they pay them really good money, but you know, because he have a good business, obviously. Because
Right.
he's, you know, he have a TV show and all the stuff, you know.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
there you go. Right. It's a news shocker for me, you know. Well, guys, let's pause here for just a minute for a word from our sponsor. And when we come back, we're going to ask Miles about growing up with a famous guitar playing father and a little bit about his solo band. All right. And we'll be right back on the Rock Music Alliance. Attention guitar players, the Thimble Slide allows you to slide and fret, freeing your slide finger. The Thimble Slide is a mini guitar slide designed to be worn on the tip of your finger, about halfway down your fingernail. When worn there, you can still bend your finger, and most importantly, it's allowing enough of your fingertip through so you can still press the guitar strings. With its patented shape, you can slide and fret while wearing the Thimble Slide. Visit thimbleslide.com. That's thimbleslide.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Katie Darrell from the Top 10 Revealed, and you're listening to Rock Music Alliance. Arr!
We're back with Miles Schon on the Rock Music Alliance. Miles, where were you born and raised?
I was born in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, just north of San Francisco, both in Marin County and Sonoma County. Yeah, and my grandparents, who took care of me quite a bit too, they were out in Hayward, which is the East Bay. It's on the other side there.
Did you ever get out to Petaluma?
Yeah, I grew up in Petaluma.
Oh, really? That's great. Yeah, yeah. I had a friend that was from Petaluma. I used to visit up there a few times.
Yeah, I was in Petaluma from like 5 to, I don't know, through till I moved out when I was 16.
Beautiful area. Yeah, I haven't been up there in a while, but I think about it often. It's a really, really pretty place.
Butter and
Yeah,
egg, gotta love it.
yeah. So you're the son of Journey's guitar player, Neal Schon. Did Neal get you started on guitar?
I think in the sense that I wanted to have something to connect with them on. So yeah, I think in that way, I felt like, he's such a passionate, great player that I really wanted to have something to um, feel connected with him on.
Yeah, I can just picture the scene. I'm sure he was eager to show you some stuff on guitar. So it kind of starts out that way, but at some point you got the guitar bug yourself.
See, no, he wasn't eager. Like my parents weren't like pushing me into music. I was kind of like just a jock. I played all the American sports. I raced dirt bikes, snowboarding, football, basketball, baseball, that kind of thing. I'm wearing my Niners shirt right now. But I got into it kind of late in comparison to what he did. And I just wanted to play AC/DC. It was like I wanted to sound like Angus at the time, and then that morphs into everything else that you end up listening to. But yeah, I remember like Back in Black was like my first tune. I had to figure it out and just my dad's an amazing player, not such a good teacher. So
Yeah. So did you teach yourself or learn on your own, or did you get
yeah,
a guitar teacher?
it's a no teacher necessarily. I took lessons from different people, but it would always ever be once or twice, at most, and in different periods. And so I really am like self-taught. I used a lot of the VHS tapes back then, that have like 50 licks and the style of whatever, and I'd pick out what I liked, and I didn't even know where they'd come from. And then when I figured out I liked it, oh, this is a Clapton riff, or this is, Metallica riff, or, Pink Floyd, wherever it was coming from, and I would kind of dive into it from there. But as far as my dad teaching me, I remember him handed me a Paul Rogers CD that he was on called Muddy Water Blues. And it was such a great album. Jeff Beck was playing rhythm guitar all over it. I think even Lukather, like it was so good of an album, they didn't even use Lukather's track on there. But a lot of great players, and Slash, Neal, all these guys were on there.
So, as you became a guitar player, then uh, who were some of the guitar players that you were impressed with and that became influences for you?
Mm, I remember as I'm picking it up, I loved a lot of alternative bands, like so watching Puddle of Mudd on TV and you know, Nickelback and Creed and all of these like big arena style alternative bands were something that I could relate to a lot. Um, I really loved Queens of the Stone Age and System of a Down and those kind of bands that you'd see it like maybe like System I saw headline in Ozfest once when Ozzy almost couldn't make it. But Zach Wild was a huge influence. I love the Black Label Society, and not even in the way that I was even able to cop what he was doing at the time, but I just like the sound, I like the energy, and I focused so much on the guitar and the sound of the band more so than the lyrics or the vocals even really. So I knew like so many Led Zeppelin songs, and I never knew the lyrics of any of them. So much
But for what I know you in the beginning, when I first Linda turned me on to you,
Mhm.
you're like a really bluesy and you know, not too many guitar players can bend the strings well. So you were like an old fashioned, honestly.
Yeah,
You sounded like a growing up into that kind of 70s stuff,
I
the way
love I loved all the British blues guys and
yeah,
Buddy Guy and you know BB King and Freddie King and Albert King and all the Kings and but you know the British guys like Jeff Beck was like my hero.
yeah,
Hear so much of the influence in my dad's playing as well as Clapton, you know, all the slow hand stuff to and then like on the opposite side of that Angus who had the really fast vibrato. So I was like infatuated with guitars, the fact that you could bend them because I actually started on bass and then I just really wanted to bend the strings, you know, and
yeah, yeah,
I would
yeah.
have probably done anything to stay away from guitar, being that my dad was such a great guitar player and I just didn't want to go there, but I just fell in love with it and it was accessible. Remember Jonathan Cain let me borrow one of his little tour size guitars that would fit on the bus, and I'd play it till I broke every string, and then I'd go to him and be like, "Please help me restring it." I don't know. He's like, when are you giving me my guitar back? You know, and I said, "Soon. I'm saving up for it." You know, so I was always like very fortunate in that way that there was access to it one way or another.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're definitely establishing your own path, so don't feel weird about being the son of Neal Schon. You got your own path ahead of you now.
I mean, any weirdness I got over a long time ago.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
You can yeah, I mean it's definitely like something I thought about it very as a teenager, but past that it's you decide you want to do something because you love it, not because somebody else loves it, you know.
I saw him play at the Whiskey at the Ultimate Jam, and he really shined in that place. And we played together. I don't know, maybe 3 times we played
Yeah,
together. Your style is very much 70s, like the bending on the notes and the slow. You don't have to play too fast. You're very melodic, and
Well,
you got good taste. He really know how to play for the
yeah.
song.
Well,
thank you.
it's all about transmitting emotion, feeling and emotion. So,
Yeah.
yeah, as long as that's happening, you're doing it right.
That's what
Yeah.
we're
So,
here.
so before Puddle of Mud, were you involved with any other, major original bands that we would know of, or is Puddle of Mud like your first
Well,
major thing?
I'm excited about this new project, Hot for Crime, because we're on our second album. The first album had two top 50 alternative rock hits, and You Need It and So Good. And then we're leading off the second album, and the song's been out for 2 months and it already has 500,000 streams, and uh,
Nice.
it's charting as well. And I think it's in the top 40. And I sent you the music video for that. The song's called Wasted, and I'm excited for the rest of that album because the first album we kind of just went into the studio and tracked it really quick, and it was all kind of on the fly. And then this one spent some time cultivating an album and really working with him on his vocal melodies and producing the tracks versus just like, hey, let's get in there and fucking do the thing really quick. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for
Well,
people to hear that because it's an evolution of that band for sure.
who's all in that band?
It's myself, Mike, and Paul, and they are buddies that I met, I don't know, 2, 3 years ago. They run a business there out of LA and New York, and they're just fun dudes that like are doing it for fun time, and they're creative, and I think I definitely had the most experience in producing and writing, and so they kind of looked to me for that in a lot of ways. And we were fortunate enough to open for the Struts a year ago, and also a year and a half ago we did a couple of dates with Alter Bridge and Seven Dust. So all of those have been great shows, and I'm excited for the potential of doing more with that, especially with the new single out that's doing well.
Yeah,
So,
I saw Luke last week.
Luke who?
Luke Spiller.
Oh yeah, singer. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I saw all those guys because we were just at the what was that festival on the East Coast together? We Ocean City in Maryland.
They're cool guys.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, they're excited. They're talking about, I don't know if I can, never mind, I'm not going to say it, but they got some big things coming up. That's exciting for them.
Yeah,
Had to
so,
do with
so
one of the
Miles,
other actors there.
no, sorry, man. Tell me the name of that band again. It's the band, your other band,
Hot for Crime,
Hot for
Many
Crime.
Miles,
Yeah,
yeah.
Hot for Crime.
Got
So
another
we
one, Many Miles Away as well. And I'm working on my own solo stuff at the same time throughout all this.
right. So with Hot for Crime, are you going to be able to keep that going while you're with Puddle of Mudd?
I've been doing a good job of it. I finished the whole album while working with Puddle of Mudd and completing an album with them as well. And we are not on the road constantly. It's kind of a weekend warrior band at this point. So it's left a lot of open time to continue to be creative and, pursue other endeavors.
Right. Well, let's take a listen. Let's take a listen to Hot for Crime, right? Did you have a song, any particular tune you want us to play?
Well, the single Wasted.
Wasted. Okay, well, here we go on the Rock Music Alliance. Hot for Crime, the song Wasted.
My girl is wasted. My girl is wasted. Something in the middle, it's a riddle. Holding on out of such a battle. Back, see, I found somebody better. Skin is thin, I'm leather. Oh my girl is wasted, face it. You got it bad, I got some friends in places. Rules are meant for breaking, and I can't cut loose. 'Cause I'm high on you. Where is the love? Where is the love? She a gate crasher, car chaser. She got it bad, she talking faster, disaster. Too bad you know that girl is
Hey, that's Hot for Crime on the Rock Music Alliance. Can you tell us a little bit about that song?
Wasted is, I think that the conversation point is that you're with these delinquent or, old friends that you always get into trouble with. And it's that toxic relationship between you and those old friends and not being able to fully break away from it. You want to do better with your life, but they keep sucking you back into the things that you grew up doing. So yeah, that was kind of the standpoint for it is, she's or really all of them, they're kind of stuck. And you're like, you've moved out and you've moved on, but every time you come back, it's the same thing. I feel like a lot of people that I grew up with can probably relate to that.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool. And earlier you also mentioned Many Miles Away. Is that now that sounds like a solo band name for you, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, it does, but it wasn't. It was a project with my buddy Michael Shapiro, and him and I just co-wrote some songs. Um, most of the, I worked on most of all the music, and Tom Fletcher engineered a good portion of it. And between the three of us, we got that done over COVID, and a couple good songs on that album that I really liked. You mentioned one of them, Keep It
Yeah, I got
Lit.
a kick out of Keep It Lit.
Yeah, and then Get It Back is one of my favorites. It's like I feel like Sammy Hagar should pick up that song. Sammy, if you're listening, check it out. And yeah, there's some good songs on there. I mean, it's very eclectic, so it kind of goes all over the place, but I get like STP vibes on some of it. And Michael has a very distinct alternative rock sound that reminds me of like late 90s, early 2000s kind of voice.
You
I
do all the, sorry, you do all the singing?
Yeah, a lot of these projects I'll be singing with them, and either we, lay down guide tracks for each other, or however it ends up coming out. But in general, I'll end up on the background vocals, and if I'm singing the leads, it's a support role of like a unison of what they're singing.
Yeah.
There are going to be a few songs on the Hopper Crime where I'll be singing lead though. One that hasn't been released yet, but I love it. It's called Last Real Magic. And it's a tattoo I got across here. It's a Prince quote that I heard about from back in the day. Jonathan told me.
Well, very cool, man. So not only lead guitar, but also vocals and even lead vocals. That's great.
Yeah, I wouldn't call myself a lead vocalist, but I'm a songwriter, and I love getting to do what I'm doing. I feel very blessed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, from what I've heard, like I say, you've certainly got a full career ahead of you. Like, whether it's Many Miles Away or Puddle of Mud or Hot for Crime, and they all have some songs that are great and some very some very catchy tunes as well in there. So all looks good to me, whichever way you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, and if you need a keyboard player, I can play one note in your next song.
I love it. I love
Claudio's
it.
Claudio's quite good.
I'm
He's
going.
yeah. Yeah. Well, Claudio, before we wrap it up here, was there anything else you wanted to mention with Miles?
Well, you know, I'm proud of him because he went through a lot in his life, and he got to move to LA, and then slowly he got going, and then now he's doing great. So, it's a process, and sometimes you got to be at the right place at the wrong time, but he's a good guy, so everything that happens to him is because he's a good guy, obviously.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah,
All right. Well,
that's well said, dude. I'm gonna keep that right place at the wrong time. That's how I got in the puddle gig for sure.
as a good lyric. You gotta sneak that one into a song somewhere. It's a good lyric.
That is-
Yeah. Well, Miles, the last thing I just wanted to ask you about being a guitar player, what kind of guitar rig do you like to record with, and what do you like to use live?
Man, I mean, it depends what's at your disposal, right? Like we could sit there all day and get guitar tones and geek out on that. But if you're trying to get something done quick, I found the multi-processor units to be pretty effective with like the Sans amp type thing. I have a couple Axe Effects units. I also use a Kemper, and if I just need something quick, mainly because you can always get a DI and reamp it later if you don't, and then I can get my Soldano or, oh, this needs a Fender, and
Yeah.
mix and match, just get the take. It's really about getting the take for me. But if you got the time and everybody's good with it, then yeah, get the tones on the
For
rig.
and for touring it's convenient to have the camper, right?
Yeah, so I've been using the Axe FX, and I just fly with it. It's a little mini rig. It's got 3 buttons on it, and um, I programmed it. I can switch over to my last channel by holding one of them, and that's all I need per song, you know. And I just dial in my sounds. It's really easy, but I'll also use the real amp live. So we run Mesas in Puddle, and I'm thinking about even switching over for Hopper Crime as well for the same thing, even though I was using a Soldano for that.
Yeah.
It's truly amazing that those multi-effects units, they've gotten so good that little by little, people have just been switching over because it's you don't have to lug that rig around, and so that's interesting to hear. Have you tried the Neural DSP Quad Cortex?
You know, I just started tracking with one of their amp sims. Starts with the G, really heavy sounding, and just through the computer monitors, I don't have the neural unit itself yet. If you guys want to send me one, I'll check it out. Maybe I use it in Puddle, but
It's pretty small. I was surprised how small it is as well. So
yeah.
pretty handy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always checking out stuff. I always want to like see what the next thing is. I think my biggest thing that I was concerned about with something like that is breaking it because travel's hard, you know, and when you stick things under the plane,
Mm.
it's not
Yeah.
that I get.
Well, with those units, you're probably bringing them on carry-on, right?
Uh, yeah, that one goes under the plane for me still though, just because of how many bags we need to bring and guitars and stuff like that. But for instance, our last show and I think there's like 60,000 people there. We're setting up our own gear and because we don't have any kind of roadies or anything like that. We're pretty much like a bar band, no sound guys, nothing. Um, and the wireless unit broke that I use, and that was with me, and my little overdrive pedal that I will stack on top of those. And so I was just like, all right, plug straight in, let's go. So you always got to have a backup something. So that's why I have the amp out there as well, just in case.
Well done. And word to the wise, always have a backup plan when you're out on the road.
I got so many options now, man. I got a little tiny one if I need to throw it down. And that's all that.
Most of the bands they have backup tracks, no backup plan.
Uh, we're old school.
Yeah, could you imagine that, Claudio? Like something happens and the rig doesn't work, and it's like, hey, yeah, just pull up the lever on the backing track, the guitar for the backing track, and all this air guitar tonight. You know.
Yeah.
No, I was joking about it because a lot of bands are using backup tracks, you know.
Yeah. No, I know they do, and yeah, you see that. It's all right, Some of the bands, they just can't afford to have a full crew all the time, But
Well, if you sound like the record and it's perfect, there's something wrong with that.
I agree. I mean, even if I think like bands like Muse impress me with it though, where they're clearly using backing tracks, but they do it in a different way live. It's almost like they re-recorded their album to get a different effect for live. They got their own transitions, their own
Yeah,
tunes, and they do their own live thing with it. And I understand having the wall of sound when it's just a three-piece necessarily when you're competing with these huge bands right next to you. So I get
yeah.
I was very against it when I was younger, and now I just see it as a tool like anything else.
Well, what happens if you have like a 20 instruments and it's only 3 players in the band, then you need to hear, whatever you did in the album. So I understand that part, like you can hear someone's keyboard effects, whatever,
Right.
you know.
Yep.
Even Queen, they use backup tracks, for all the vocals.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
And a lot
and
of
then
they'll re-sing it and they'll sing. I know Journey does that as well. They'll record their last rehearsal and they'll blend in their background vocals with them, obviously singing live, and it's kind of a 50-50 blend because it just
yeah,
helps fill everything out. So you're not actually just listening to the album, you're hearing a live playback of their backing vocals with them singing on top of it.
yeah. That's better.
Yeah.
All
very
right.
interesting. Well done. Well, Miles, that does bring us to the end of our show today. What websites should people go to keep in touch with you and watch your career?
I got a website, mileshon.com, and it's MILESSCHON. And I'm on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and all of those things as well, with both the individual bands and my own personal pages. But yeah, look out for my own thing too. I'm always working. I do like to do, like Claudio said, I'm a blues rock guy, kind of at the heart of it, and I'm looking to do that here sometime in the next year. Just get in and finish some the albums that I've been working on.
Very cool. Well, guys, watch Miles' website and social media pages for more stuff. Well, Miles, thanks for being our guest today on the Rock Music Alliance. I'm Cole Coleman, and for Claudio Pesavento, the Rock Music Alliance, and the RMA Awards, thanks for watching and listening. Visit us at rockmusicalliance.com and check out this year's RMA Awards for rock, metal, and progressive rock music.